G'day, my name is Clayton. Welcome to the Planet Canada YouTube channel. And in our video today, we are going to show you what's involved with a network installation of Cabinet Vision. If you're looking to install Cabinet Vision in a standalone environment, we already have a tutorial available on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. But if you're looking to install Cabinet Vision in a network environment, this tutorial is going to go through that process step by step. So the absolute first thing I just want to highlight with you is where we can go to get the latest server recommendations and understand the relationship between Cabinet Vision and Windows Home and Windows Pro. All of that information is available from our website. When I open up planetcanada.ca and then I hover over solutions, there is this system recommendations. For all of the latest system recommendations, I can click on this button here and you can see we've got some additional resources for IT teams. But have a gander at this before you go ahead and install Cabinet Vision, just to make sure that that environment on that network is going to work. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about where we can actually go to download the files for Cabinet Vision. I probably want to open up this website from the server environment. So the link for this will be in the description below. But we are currently on the Hexagon customer portal. And it's here where I can download any of the Cabinet Vision files I would like. So I'm going to click under downloads on the software button here, or I could always click on downloads up here and then software. And then from this page, I'm just going to go to the Cabinet Vision tab. And you can see which languages this current version of Cabinet Vision. So we've got Cabinet Vision 2026.1. We can see which languages this version is available in. And we have two files down here to download. Now, regardless of the language we want to use, we would only download and use the primary setup if we want to use English with the American database. It's not as simple, this language pack file, as just the language that Cabinet Vision appears in. There's also all sorts of custom data, custom objects, materials provided by these local resellers. So if you are using any of these languages here, other than just the English USA, be sure to download both the primary setup and the language pack to make sure you get that language, you get those regionalizations, those localizations, and you also get any of the custom hardware, objects, cabinets, whatever that team has created for this version of Cabinet Vision. So we'll just download both of these. I'm going to click on the primary setup, and then I'm just going to choose the closest server to me and then download. And I'm going to do the same thing for the language pack. And then we're not going to make you sit through the download of those files. So I will be back in just a second. And we're back. Both of those files are downloaded. So now I'm just going to, I could double click on it. I could right click on this and run this as the administrator as well if I would like. I'm doing it on the language pack. At the moment, Cabinet Vision's just asking if I approve this. Yes. I can then choose where I would like to install the setup files for this folder. If we're on a server, we might want to choose a custom pathway. I always try and encourage you to use the default custom pathway because it can be a lot easier for everyone to find it if we need to troubleshoot any problems. So I'm going to click on OK, and Cabinet Vision is going to start extracting these setup files. I was just going to say before though, I am just going to do this to the language pack because as soon as Cabinet Vision has finished extracting and unpacking these language pack files, it will automatically begin doing that exact same process with the primary setup. So I don't need to worry about double clicking on both of them. I can just do it on the language pack and get the same result. So let's circle back to this when this is finished extracting. All right, so all of those files have finished extracting and the Cabinet Vision installation wizard has popped up. When I hover my mouse over the language at the top here, I can choose which language I would like to install it in. So I can choose English Canada here or Francais Canada just there. Now, you can see once I'm happy with that, I can just click on Launch the Installation Wizard. And let's go through some of the questions together. I'll just approve the licensing agreement. Now, of course, I can choose the destination location. I tend to say though, it doesn't hurt to go with the default structure here because it can make troubleshooting any issues in the future really easy for your support team. So we've got, we'll just click next. Now, in this case, I want to choose the server, allowing for multiple network computers to share this system's program data. And we can also have program logins and user profiles. So I'm going to click on next now, and I'm going to install all the applications. If we're not sure, feel free to reach out to Planet, to your support team, and just double check which of these options you want to tick. In this case, I'm just going to install all the applications, including the Plus Label application. Click next, and then Cabinet Vision is just going to go through and install all of the necessary files on the server. So I'll be back as soon as this has finished. And the first part is nearly done. It's finished installing Cabinet Vision, but we do need to restart the computer or the server. So just maybe double check that no one else needs it or is using it at the moment. And then when it's ready, we're going to click restart, and I will see you in another second. Well, great job. The first part of this installation is complete. Cabinet Vision is installed on the server. If you have any questions about what just happened in the first half, maybe something a little out of the ordinary occurred, then you can always go to the Nexus Community, where you can pose different questions, and users with experience who might have had the same question pop up, a different text, or members of the development team even might be able to offer some guidance and help you out there. Or of course, feel free to reach out to your support team, reach out to Planet. We are always happy to help out. So Cabinet Vision is installed on the server. So now this is where the process is a little bit different to a standalone install. With a network install of Cabinet Vision, we want all of the different workstations to share the same database as the central server. So what we want to do is install Cabinet Vision with a special file found in the install folders. What we want to do is open up the Windows Explorer, and then if I go to my program data and then Hexagon down here, and then Cabinet Vision, what you can see is I've got this special install file here. I want to install Cabinet Vision on all of the individual workstations using this net setup file, not using the install files I looked at before. And then just super simply from those individual workstations, run this net setup file just here on those workstations, because that will link the Cabinet Vision database from this computer to the database found on the server. We always encourage people to map this folder pathway to a network drive, just so that it's nice and easy for you to access it from those different workstations to finish off the installation. If you have any further questions on that, feel free to drop them down below.